Buddy watching the Haunt channel. And I just want to start off this video by saying Happy Friday the 13th. And what other good way is it to make a Friday the 13th video without reviewing a Friday the 13th item? And that's exactly what I'm going to do here today. And I got quite a special one. This is the brand new 2024 Trigger Studios Jason Goes to Hell mask. Now this thing is incredible. And even though it just came out this year, basically, it has quite a lot of history. So to begin, this is actually a remake mask of Elusive Concepts mask of Jason Goes to Hell. So sometime in the 90s, Elusive Concepts, which is an old company that's gone out of business many years ago, they were pretty classic items, and I'm pretty sure they're well known by a lot of people. It was a company started by the great Mario Chiodo. So into the 90s, they made a Jason Goes to Hell mask. And the cool thing about Trigger Studios is they'll remake masks of old masks from old companies. So I believe they've done other Elusive Concepts masks. They've also brought back some Dawn Post mask, and they even brought back some classic ones from companies like Zagoni and Distortions, for example. So I really appreciate that Trigger Studios does that, and it's really cool to see remakes of old classic masks from classic companies, even if they're still in business or not. So I'm gonna compare this first to the Elusive Concepts mask before I get into how it looks in the movie. But I don't physically have an Elusive Concepts version with me, but I've seen photos and I can provide one to you so you guys can see what it looks like. There are quite a lot of differences between these two, even though they're basically the same mask. So for starters, the Elusive Concepts one was like a paler skin compared to this one, which is more tan, I'd say. It also had blood dripping on the mask. And this is a full latex mask. However, the Elusive Concepts one, instead of this latex eye, they had a blue glass eye in place, so it was hard, not squishy latex. Compared to this one, it is latex, and it's a brown eye instead of blue. And then another thing was the hair. So on this one, it has these two patches of brown hair, but I believe on the Elusive Concepts one, it was more spotty. So it would have like a little clump here, here, and all over the back, instead of just two spots. So even though this is a remake mask, I'd say, of the original Elusive Concepts one from the 90s, this one also, like, it resembles it, but it's not completely exact to that. But I'd say this one resembles the Jason in the movie more, from Jason Goes to Hell. And with that being said, on the tag here, you can see how Jason looks like in that movie. And while this mask is kind of a mix between the Elusive Concepts one and how Jason looks in that movie. So comparing it to the movie now, you can see here, the mask on this is gray, and on here it's white, but it's dirty and it's shiny. Sure, they could have glossed it up, but it also does still stay true to the original Elusive Concepts. So this mask looks great overall, though. You can see, like I mentioned, this is more of like a tan color. It's not bad, but if we were looking at it through here, it has more of a lighter skin tone, the Jason there. You can't really see it too well in this photo, but in the movie, the hair is different. So in the movie Jason Goes to Hell, he has like long strands of hair, just kind of like going here, instead of just these two clumps here. Now, the Jason Goes to Hell movie, I'm gonna give some spoilers if you haven't seen it, so skip ahead if you don't want spoilers for that movie, even though it's old. The look of Jason Goes to Hell is one of my favorites, but he's barely in the movie. And the movie is one of my least favorite Friday the 13th movies, because it's not really a Friday the 13th movie, if you get what I mean. Because basically it has Jason in the beginning, he gets blown up to pieces by a SWAT team. And then after that, his soul kind of transfers from people. So, his soul will go in one person, and then they'll kill a few people, and eventually his soul will leave that person's body and transfer to another body, and the cycle repeats until the soul, it's like a creature comes out, and it goes inside Jason's deceased sister's body, which brings Jason back to life. So he can only be reborn as is from a Voorhees, which, was a sister he got reborn by. And then he comes back looking just like he did in the beginning of the movie. Which, Jason himself is barely in the movie, which sucks. I like the look of him. It's not my favorite Jason look, but it's one of my favorites. But it just sucks we don't see him in. It was an interesting idea, and I think they just want to try something different while making it. It just doesn't stay true to a Friday the 13th movie. And yeah, so because of that, it was kind of a weaker Jason film. And by then, that was the first movie that, first Jason or Friday the 13th movie, if you want to say, that went to New Line, because starting then, they went to New Line Cinema. And that's when it stopped being called Friday the 13th until, like, the remake one from 2009, or the reboot. But this mask has some great detail, though. You can see has the bumps like he does. Kind of see it on the photo, which look nasty, and I like that though. The blood is glossy. See, his skin's trying to repair itself, because as the movies went on later, Jason turned more to like a zombified corpse guy that came back to life. But I'm pretty sure I heard something where, as the movies went on, I guess Jason was his skin was repairing itself, kind of turning back to humanish in a way. Another thing in the movie is, you notice he has one eye, and that's like how it is, obviously, with the original Elusive Concepts one, but they did it because it's accurate to the movie. Because he only has one eye in some of the last few films. So the one eye here showing is like accurate, and then this one would be missing. Now, the only thing is, if I were to wear this, which I have, you can see your actual eye through this hole, because it's so noticeable. So what I think you could do is, you could add like a black piece of fabric. I don't know what it's called, but it's like the see-through kind. So if you're wearing the mask, you can see perfectly fine. But if you're looking at the mask, the black kind of covers your eye, so you can't really see it unless you actually go up close. I know they did on some of the Ruby's ones in the past, so yeah. And there also is another eye hole right there. There isn't really like breathing holes on this thing, but the mask is big and it gives you room, so you can breathe, even if there's not actual holes. There's little ear holes though, it looks like. Yeah, but it's not really a mask. Well, there's a little bit, like, it's hard to see up on the camera, but some of these holes right here, they are poked out so you can breathe, but they're tiny, but it still gives you room. Like, you're not going to suffocate in there. And then I think the nose hole's poked out, but all these other holes are just filled. But yeah, you can see, can't really tell that those holes in the front are cut through so you can breathe, but they are. Now this mask is really great. Like, look at the detail. The sculpt is awesome. I'm pretty sure this is a brand new sculpt. It's not the one that they used from the 90s of Elusive Concepts. And this one, I saw a photo on Facebook, someone who had both. And this one is bigger than the original. Also, this mask, I should say, is also based near the ending of Jason Goes to Hell, because once he finally goes to hell and like the demons are trying to grab him, you can see mask damage right there where they broke the mask, and that's not visible till that happens at the end. He also has propeller damage, which can be shown in part 6, where Tommy Jarvis is there and they're trying to drown him, the propeller cuts him right there. However, the only time it's weird because it's shown that's when it happens at the end of part 6. Part 7 it's there. Part 8 Jason Takes Manhattan. He gets a brand new mask, so none of this is here. Even though the axe cut is there for some reason that he normally has, the propeller damage isn't. But then they bring it back in the following movie, which is based off this one, Jason Goes to Hell. So it's kind of weird how that works, but yeah. You can see the damage he always has right there from the axe. It's broken right there. And like I mentioned earlier, Jason's skin is beginning to repair itself. So the skin is actually growing over the mask, so it's kind of like stuck to his face. And that's the only Jason movie where his face actually isn't shown and the mask isn't removed. The mask is removed at the end, but it's by then he's already in hell, basically. So you don't really see it. But, you know, it's because the mask in the movie is attached to his face because of the skin. But I think if they were to show it, they could have made it where the demons actually broke the mask off and then you finally see Jason's face underneath. But people have made ideas of what his face looks like. Because Kane Hodder, who plays Jason in this movie and some of the others, probably the best Jason actor, there was a photo behind the scenes where the top of his face had like latex prosthetic. And you can kind of see what it would look like because you can see like the bone here it would show. So like his whole upper piece would be in latex, but it wasn't a full face thing because his bottom mouth area wasn't covered. It was just his normal mouth. So they didn't make an actual face during the movie, but people have made it so, or their predictions of what they think he looks like underneath the mask. I know the Friday the 13th game did that, and then other people came up with their own mask of what Jason probably looks like, and you know, they're probably not far off. I will say though, it's kind of hard to see. I wish they made it more white here because it's just more gray. It kind of, you can see it's broken, but it's kind of like the same color as the mask. So it's, I wish they gave it more bone color. And while this is going off the movie though, while you know, the skin is starting to grow over the mask because it's been on there for so long, you can see it's starting to cause indents from the straps, but you think the skin would start growing over that, but I don't know. It's probably already attached, but yeah. I don't really know who sculpted this one. It doesn't say, because I'm pretty sure this is a new sculpt, not the original one from the 90s Elusive Concepts. But yeah. I really do hope that True Studios does make more Jason and Friday the 13th products. I've heard in the past, I think they were having licensing issues. And I think maybe the only way they might have been able to do this is because it's through Elusive Concepts, because it's a remake. Obviously, Elusive Concepts had to get the licensing back then in the 90s, and that was a different time, but they obviously still had to get some licensing, because it says Jason Voorhees there, but it doesn't say Jason Goes to Hell, but it has this picture there. Also, I forget if I pointed this out earlier, but yeah, it does say Elusive Concepts Classic right in that red circle up there, and then True Studios logo in the corner. So yeah, it does show you that's a remake of the Elusive Concepts one. But and then it has the Friday the 13th licensing in the back right there. But you know, hopefully licensing goes through. I'd like to see other parts of Jason. You know, I'd like to see like full mask of like the corpse Jasons from like part 7 and 6, and like the originals from like 3 and 4, for example. And even just having a separate hockey mask would be cool. Or if the mask come with the hockey mask, then it'd be cool if you could like slide it off, revealing the full Jason face. That would be really cool. I'd definitely buy those if True Studios was able to do that. This is, you know, obviously it's one piece, and you know, like I said, mask doesn't come off in the movie, so it's all latex, which I mean is fine, but yeah, this mask is incredible though, and it is a really good size. Yeah, so there's just one more thing basically to talk about, I guess. So well, I'll tell you where I got this. I got this from Spirit because Spirit's selling this. I'm pretty sure it's at select stores though, and I don't think it's on the website either. But this mask retails for $80 at Spirit, which is pretty steep. I think True Studios is selling it for like $70 on their site. And then Party City is also selling it for $60. And I work at Spirit, so I got this for around $60 with my discount, which is really good and worth it. And that's what it should have been like. I feel like 80's too steep, you know, Spirit with prices. It's just kind of tough for some things, I'd say, but you know, I guess 60 is worth it, and that should have been more of the retail. Like Party City has it like that. But yeah. And if you weren't buying it at like the chain stores, like if you bought it like an independent store, it would just have like a little hang tag right here, not like this big one. And it'd just be like a flip open. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it. Like, there's a lot I could say about this mask, and I pretty much went over everything. So yeah, I definitely recommend this mask, and if you're able to get it for, I'd say like $60 is fair. Get it from Party City or whatever. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave you guys with some up close shots so you can actually see this thing in its full glory. And I think that's a good way to make a Friday the 13th video. That I review this because it just came out this year and it's incredible and it's sick. And you know, I am a mask collector, so I have plenty of masks, and I don't think I made a mask review in a while, so just decided to throw this one out here. Perfect timing, perfect day for this. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all I gotta say for this. Just incredible. So I'll leave you guys with some up close shots. But yeah, and I got a lot more videos coming, so stay tuned. A lot of unboxings and stuff. It's going to be a busy season, but stay tuned for that content. But yeah, that's the Jason Goes to Hell mask from True Studios. So, leave you guys with some up close shots, and that's all I got to say. So, see you guys next time. Bye.